back, I remember struggling to understand what my professors were saying because they were using 찐 부산 사투리, the real Busan dialect. But I think that's what makes Busan more of my home. Through the dialect, I feel the warm charm that no other city can mimic. Global City Busan. We are in it together. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Good morning, Wavers. U.S. President Donald Trump is due to arrive in South Korea from Japan later on this morning. It's a high-stakes week for South Korea with many different moving parts as we look forward to the upcoming APEC summit this Friday to Saturday. Today in particular, all eyes will be on every minute detail on the summit between South Korean President Lee Jae-myung and U.S. President Donald Trump. The words that are spoken, the atmosphere between the two, and even the body language. The elephant in the room is definitely that $350 billion investment package that is being demanded in reduction for the reduction of U.S. tariffs on Korean imports. So how will this pan out? That's the big question for today. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Wednesday, October 29th on BEFM 부산영어방송. Good morning, Wavers. I hope you're all doing well. Can you believe it is already the last Wednesday of October? It sounds so weird, but in just a few days, we're going to say Happy November. Well, today is a big day. It is D-Day, the summit between South Korean President Lee Jae-myung and U.S. President Donald Trump. It's set to take place. This will be their second meeting, the first summit having taken place in Washington, D.C. back in August. As was the case 2 months ago, the top priority here is trade. But what's been happening, and given what's been happening in the working level meetings, it is unclear if any deal will be signed off today. So once again, what is the most important part? The key here is that $350 million investment deal and all the details that go along with the deal. President Lee Jae-myung has taken a consistent position that South Korea is not Japan, meaning that we can't afford to give the same amount of cash investment that Japan has pledged. To that end, Trade Minister Kim Jong-un has been talking to U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick over video conference since their face-to-face meeting in D.C. last week. And reports say that the U.S. has partially come to terms with South Korea's position that a sudden short-term influx of cash would bring a bit of a crisis to its currency market. But there still is a big difference over the amount of cash investment. So with these discrepancies, experts are looking at 3 potential scenarios. So let's look them over. Number 1, first, it's the best case scenario and maybe the most kind of optimistic one. Rapid progress leading to a dual security and economic package deal. However, the more realistic scenario would be kind of a half and half deal, focusing on security issues. And lastly, there is also that possibility that no joint statement or a deal will be announced at all. So this is definitely one of the issues that should be done right, rather than just, quickly. And with South Korea's national interest in U.S. relations, both really important key factors, it's going to be a complicated decision. So today is a major day, and of course we'll bring you the details probably of that tomorrow morning. All right, now it is time for our text topic. So are you ready? Here we go. Are you good at making deals? Whether it be things like your salary or maybe haggling at the market. Tell us about your negotiation success stories. 자, 나는 연봉 협상, 물건값 깎기 등 협상 잘한다. 나의 협상 성공담도 들려주세요. Share with us all your success story. I mean, no matter how small you think it might be, we want to hear all the details of whether you got a good deal, whether it was through haggling or your fantastic negotiation deals. What was it? So you can send in your stories to BFM's live stream, live chat on YouTube. Go to the YouTube platform and to find our channel, type in BEFM or 부산영어방송. And then you can subscribe, log in, and chat with our other waivers. Also, from your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free through Kakao Talk as well. Same thing there. Type in BEFM or 부산영어방송, input that, and then add us as a friend first, and then you can send in your messages that way. The ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan, if you're in Busan on the radio, 90.5 or 103.3 FM, depending on where you are in Busan. Like I said, we're streaming live on YouTube right now. You can watch again at your leisure. We're also available on the BFM app and the Papang app. Both are free and easy to download. All right, let's take a look ahead to our hump day together. So first up, we have in hour number 1, Now and Next with Lian. In hour number 2, Jennifer with Work in Progress. For our special interview today, it is going to be extra special because I'm going to be talking about the first Global City Tourism Summit in Busan. So this is the first of its kind in Busan. It's kicked off on the 27th, and it's ongoing for 3 days. It's hosted by Busan City and the Tourism Promotion Organization, or TPO. So it's all about boosting local tourism, digital innovation, etc. So today we're going to have 2 really important people featured for a special interview. We're going to be talking with the head of Sane Utro Foundation in Mongolia. And they do great work. We're going to find out about that in hour number 2. Also, with Ms. Christiane Amiel. She's the Deputy Mayor for International Relations for Nice, France. So stay tuned for all of this. That's coming up in hour number 2. I'll be back with news overview. It's now 7:07 and this is News Overview. Lee Jae-myung and Trump to hold summit today. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump today for their second summit, as he is set to attend multiple APEC events in this diplomatic super week. North Korea test fires cruise missiles as Trump proposes meeting with Kim Jong-un. Pyongyang has announced that it test-fired ship-to-surface strategic cruise missiles in the West Sea as it has stayed silent to U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestion of a meeting with Chairman Kim Jong-un during Trump's Asia trip. Prosecutors appeal Kakao founder's acquittal. The Seoul number prosecution said that it has appealed the court's not guilty verdict of Kakao Corporation founder Kim Bum-soo involving stock manipulation charges related to the company's takeover of SM Entertainment. Father and daughter found not guilty in makgeolli murder retrial. The Gwangju High Court yesterday handed down a not guilty verdict in the retrial of the father and daughter previously found guilty of murder of 2 people with poisoned makgeolli or rice wine after 16 years. Israel launches strikes on Gaza. Israel has launched strikes on Gaza, killing at least 3, according to news agencies, after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered for immediate powerful attacks to the military. And this was News Overview. It is now time for Now in Busan. We have Sejin in the studio. Let's say hi first. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. Yes. So let's get your take on the art of the deal, as they say, negotiations. Are you good at this?
I've been taught about negotiations from my older sister.
Oh.
And what she did is she needed some 5,000 5,000 to just have coffee. And I was with her and she was like, I don't have 5,000. So she didn't have the money at the time. And so I'm going to ask my father. And then I observed how she negotiated with her father. And then she just said, give me 50,000. And I was like, but you just need 5,000. And you just called a big number.
So you aim high.
Yeah, aim high.
And then hoping that, and then what was your father's response?
So he gave her 50,000. I was like, that's how it works.
Yes, aim high. And, hoping for at least the minimum of what you need, right? Is apparently your sister's strategy. So you learned from her.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for sharing a cute family story. All right. We're going to jump into some local news. So what's the latest with the situation at Kimhae Airport? Because there's a lot going on right now.
Yes. It's a mix of tight security and welcoming vibes. On the 28th, the airport looked calm as usual, but you could see stronger security measures everywhere.
Okay.
Armed vehicles were stations and frequent patrols were visible across the site. Security is only going to get stricter from today when leader state aircraft begin arriving.
That's right. So, and of course, the big meetings that are happening this week. So there's a lot of, anticipation in the air, right?
Yes. Much of the world's attention is on the upcoming summit between the US and China, which is highly likely to take place at Air Force Base inside the Kimhae Airport during the APEC week. The Air Force has also been busy managing flight control, security operations, and protocol arrangement, and has refurnished Naremaru, the VIP lounge that will have foreign delegations.
Yes, indeed. So what has changed for just, ordinary passengers?
The airport's aviation security level rose from caution to alert on the 28th.
Yes.
And that means stricter screening. And passengers are now required to remove their shoes and outwear for security checks before boarding. From today, the area around Kimhae has become a no-fly zone for all drones and unmanned aircraft.
Yes.
Only scheduled passenger flight, emergency rescue, and disaster response flights are allowed.
Right. And I also do want to focus on the welcoming atmosphere for APEC. That's been building up as well, not just security.
Yes. At the International Arrivals Hall, a welcoming team dressed in hanbok greeted foreign visitors and delegates from APEC member countries. There are also guys dressed as Grim Reapers from the K-pop Demon Hunters, and it apparently caught many travelers' attentions.
I'm sure. So, speaking of APEC, I hear that there is a strike planned just before the summit.
Yes, workers at airports across the country have announced an indefinite strike starting on the 29th, so today, just days before the APEC summit officially begins.
Right.
The strike will affect 14 airports nationwide, including Kimhae. They handle essential operations such as runway and terminal maintenance and firefighting at major airports like Incheon, Gimpo, and Kimhae.
Yeah, so the timing of it, why now?
The 29th, when the union announced the strike, is a day when major leaders enter the country through Kimhae Airport ahead of the opening of the plenary session of the APEC summit. The union said they want to use this high-profile moment to raise awareness of airport safety and working conditions. They say big airports rely too much on temporary and subcontracted staff, which can be unsafe and has even led to fatal accidents.
I see.
They're asking for reforms, including a better shift system. A rally is also scheduled for 3 p.m. today in front of Kimhae Airport.
So is there still room maybe for a deal?
The union said negotiations are still possible. An official said that they've already reached a deal with subsidiary, but the parent company, Korean Airports Corporation, has yet to accept it.
I see.
If the corporation reaches out, they are ready to sit down and talk. And for APEC to be successful, the corporation and related agency must listen to the voices of airport workers.
Ah, yes. So this is going on as, once again, we are hosting such a very busy week here in Korea. So hopefully, cooler heads will prevail. All right, let's get a quick traffic update for drivers. There's a lane change coming on Gwangan Bridge. Is that correct?
Yes, starting October 30th, so today. Tomorrow,
yes.
Busan City will reduce the number of center-bound lanes on Gwangan Bridge from 3 to 2 in the direction from Yongho-dong to Centum City.
Yes.
It's part of the Gwangan Bridge Connection Road project, designed to ease traffic congestion around Centum City in Haeundae District.
Right. So this project, it's been going on for a while. What's the reason behind narrowing the lanes? Because people might be thinking that's just going to cause more congestion, right?
Yes, the change is meant to prevent collisions between vehicles coming down from the newly established ramp bridge and those traveling straight across Gwangan Bridge. The adjustment starts about 1.2 kilos before the Centum City underpass, where a safety zone will guide traffic into 2 lanes.
So drivers heading towards Centum should keep an eye out for that. That's starting the 30th, which is tomorrow. So what about the entire project? How is that coming along?
It's now 87% complete, and the city expects full completion by the end of this year.
Okay.
So again, from October 30th, keep an eye on those lane reductions if you're heading toward Centum City.
Well, thank you for the heads up on that. So for the morning commuters, you heard it from us. Be aware of that area. All right, next, I hear that there's a push to make a remembrance siren nationwide. So this is for November 11th, and this is such an important day, right?
Yes, a civic group called Word for Heroes is urging a nationwide siren at 11 a.m. on November 11th. This is called Turn Toward Busan, where people pay a silent tribute to the UN Memorial Cemetery in Busan, remembering UN soldiers who fell in the Korean War.
Yes, tell us more.
It became a government-led ceremony in 2008, an official Memorial Day in 2020. But the siren only sounds in Busan, and the group said it should be heard nationwide to properly commemorate those who died, protecting the Republic of Korea's freedom and democracy.
I see. So they're trying to make it nationwide, that siren. Well, what's new this year?
The group is forming a Turn Toward Busan nationwide expansion promotion committee.
Okay.
They will deliver appeal letters to lawmakers and appoint all those who agreed to participate as members of the promotion committee.
Yes. So the message behind this, what's like the overall message?
The head of the organization says many gave their lives, some in a country they've never known. It's unfortunate that too few people know this tribute. She said, the campaign started from the belief that we should take time to remember those beyond Memorial Day. Honoring veterans should transcend political divisions.
I see. So once again, for our listeners, viewers, what happens on November 11th?
11 a.m., November 11th, pause for a minute, face Busan, remember the UN veterans. If expanded, you may hear the siren across the country.
I see. So for those of us, at least in Busan, let's definitely remember this. All right, next, let's talk about new bus links for West Busan. What's going on?
Busan City will launch the Economy bus service on October 30th, connecting Eco Delta City with Myeongji International New City and Hadan Station.
Oh, so Eka-nubi, what's behind the name?
It means the citizens' ride navigating Eco Delta City. The name was chosen through a public contest.
Okay.
And what these bus designs set apart from the local buses is its highlight on the eco-friendly waterfront city image. The bus has a limited 5-year license valid until 2029. The 6 medium low-floor electric buses will run 2 routes, Gangsa 8-1 and Gangsa 50-1. The Gangsa 8-1 route runs from Eco Delta City to Myeongji's Haedongnae and National Assembly Library, while 15-1 connects Eco Delta City and Gangsa Police Station and Hadan.
So do you have information regarding like the first departures and how frequently this will run?
The first 8-1 bus leaves at 6:20 a.m. every 35 to 40 minutes. The first 15-1 bus leaves at 6:10 a.m. and comes every 35 minutes.
Okay.
These two new routes should reduce average waiting times by 3 minutes toward Hadan and 30 minutes toward Myeongji International New City.
And lastly, what about the fares? How much is this going to cost?
Same as Gangsa Village buses. 1,450 for adult,
Yes.
750 for teenagers, and free for children when using a transport card.
Yes, yes. So once again, for adults, that's 1,481. Teenagers, 751. And it is free for children. So thank you for all the local news. And we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Sajin.
Thank you.
All right. I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan. Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan. Morning Wave in Busan.
It's time for your traffic report. So first up, let's talk about Gwanmun-daero. It is congested from Pangnam Tunnel to Baegang Tunnel. It's backed up on Mandakdaero from Sukdong to Deokjeon intersection. There's also traffic on Jungangdaero from Sojongcheon to Bugok intersection. It's also looking slow on Luno Samsungdaero from Myeongji underpass to Shino Bridge. Currently, it is just 3 degrees Celsius under clear skies here in Busan. It's going to go up to 18 degrees. And just between the 3 and the 18, you can hear that is a huge difference. Looking across the nation, clear across the country with morning lows between 2 and 12 degrees Celsius. And the afternoon highs going anywhere from 16 to 20 degrees Celsius, depending, of course, on where you are. In line with average temperatures this time of the year. And this was your traffic and weather. All right, everybody. And during the opening, I misspoke and said $350 million for that deal. Obviously, it is $350 billion. That's the deal that we're talking about. So I just wanted to make a correction to that. I'll be back with top stories. It's time for Top Stories. We have Haley here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, yes. So today is going to be a big day. We're going to talk about all of that. But in the meantime, our text topic. Are you good at the art of the deal, negotiating?
No, so bad.
Oh, really?
So bad.
Oh, I would think.
I know, but I'm also like so passive, and then I'm just like, ooh, I feel bad. I really gotta get over that. Yeah, and then in terms of salaries, because we do work for a public institution,
Yes.
you can't really negotiate.
No.
we have standards. It's
are
written in
rules
stone. It's
and-
carved in stone.
Yes.
So I can't be like, well, make an exception for me.
Because I'm so
That's
special.
ridiculous. Look how cute I am. Make an exception for it. No, that's crazy.
Yes, yes.
But I do tend to get a lot of free stuff. Like even at markets, when I go, 조금만 싸게, can we go a little lower? They won't, but they will throw in free stuff. Actually, Exhibit A, this is free stuff that I just got from credits to Amy from a friend of mine yesterday.
We love Amy.
We love Amy. We love Amy. She's moving and she's like, she has turned into a minimalist. She hates all of her stuff because she has to pack them. She's like, can you
like,
just
all of a sudden?
No, but she's like, I just don't want to pack. Like, do you want some stuff? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm your human recycling bin. Come at me.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for sharing. Now we're going to jump into the APEC summit, obviously, in Gyeongju. It's kicking off the official summit in 2 days, Friday to Saturday, with VIP guests. I mean, they are milling about in the region, but let's go over the guest list. Who's here?
Right. So 21 members are part of the APEC, Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, and most countries are sending their respective heads of state. So we have 2 state visits, 국빈 방문 from U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. This, by the way, is the first time in 6 6 years for Trump visiting South Korea, even longer for Chinese President Xi Jinping at 11 years. But both of the cases marks the first ever state visit in a non-Seoul area.
Right.
And for another major neighbor of ours, first overseas trip for the new Japanese Prime Minister, Trump-Da카이치. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, and Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto will be in the country soon.
Yes.
However, going further into the other continents, the only Latin American, so Central and South American president to attend is President of Chile, Gabriel Boric. By the way, Chile has a special relationship with South Korea. They were the first Latin American country to strike a free trade agreement, an FTA with South Korea, and even historically, the first South American country to recognize the Republic of Korea as a nation.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But there are countries, where they won't be sending their heads of states for various reasons.
Right. So Russia, for example, they are sending their delegation headed by the Vice President for International Affairs as President Vladimir Putin. He cannot really leave the country as there is an international criminal court warrant out for him.
Yes.
Taiwan and Hong Kong are also APEC members because APEC is an economic cooperation. Members are therefore not sovereign nations, but economies. However, because of China's One China policy, the heads of state from Taiwan and Hong Kong, they do not partake, but they send other top officials.
Okay.
Most of these heads of state and dignitaries will enter via Kimhae International Airport, as Sejin mentioned, and be driven to Gyeongju via motorcade. So even if you don't have plans to go to the airport, which crowded as it is, you might be delayed on the roads.
Okay, well, thanks for the heads up. Well, this also includes major economic leaders.
Right. So the APEC CEO Summit kicked off yesterday with some 1,700 CEOs discussing the 3 Bs. So these stand for Bridge, Business, and Beyond. The most notable attendee, Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, he will speak on Friday at a special session and announce NVIDIA's vision on artificial intelligence, robotics, and autonomous driving technology.
Yes.
Amazon's Web Services CEO, Matt Garman, and amongst others, global big tech leaders will be in attendance where they will exchange insights on AI and the digital convergence.
Okay.
Let's look at some South Korean leaders. SK Chairman Choi Tae-won will actually chair the event. And other top 4 corporation leaders, Samsung Electronics Chair Lee Jae-yong, Hyundai Motors Chair Chung Hee-sun, and LG Group's Chairman Koo Kwang-mo will be in attendance.
Okay.
It's actually at the CEO Summit today where U.S. President Donald Trump will speak. So this will, of course, be a major part of the event.
Yes, indeed. And of course, we'll have details of that probably tomorrow. So, moving on to the summits that will take place on the sidelines of APEC. These are important as well. First up, let's talk about that Trump-Da카이치 summit from yesterday.
Right. So going to Japan, this was the first summit, of course, between U.S. President Donald Trump and the new Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, where they reaffirmed the two countries' bilateral alliance and also discussed security and economic issues. The summit took place for about 40 minutes.
Yes.
However, initially the two figures bonded over late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Of course, Abe was a mentor of Takaichi and a friend of Trump. And Takaichi said that the two countries will open a new golden era. Trump, for his part, he doubled down on the trade deal between the two economies, which was struck by Takaichi's predecessor, former Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru. This includes Japan giving a $755 billion investment to the U.S. in exchange for lowering the tariffs from 25% to 15%.
Right. And so, to that end, the two leaders signed 2 new agreements.
Right. So 2 agreements that we're talking about is one marking this new golden age of U.S.-Japan relations and another one about a critical minerals deal.
Yes.
Let's talk about the new Golden Age era deal first. This is all about securing cooperation between the two long-standing allies. It says that the two leaders noted, quote, with satisfaction, swift and continued efforts by both countries and confirmed their strong commitment to implementing this, quote, great deal. So this is more of a on-principle frameworks deal. This agreement will help both countries strengthen their economic security, promote growth, and thereby continuously lead to global global prosperity.
I see. So that's deal one. What about the second deal?
Right, so this rare earth minerals deal seems to be a more concrete, fleshed out one. Here, the two countries agreed to cooperate through use of policies, trade measures, and coordinated investment to support the production of critical minerals. So this seems to be one of the key issues that Donald Trump is honing in on his trip to Asia, as he has actually struck other deals with Malaysia, Thailand, and Australia on rare earths. These are minerals that are needed for the production of most electronics, electric cars, and even military equipment. So Japan is actually known to have an abundant supply of rare earth minerals. However, most of it is underwater, making it difficult to mine.
I see.
Therefore, this is where the U.S. will come in, helping with technology. In another bit, Trump also seems to have been aiming for new defense contracts. So he visited a U.S. naval base in Japan, announced there that he approved for missiles to be used in Japan's F-35 fighter jets.
Ah, yes. So that's what happened between the U.S. and Japan. With all of this underway, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung is also scheduled to meet with Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi soon.
Right. So Japanese outlets have reported that Seoul and Tokyo are working on holding this first Takaichi summit tomorrow. So that would be the 30th. Again, not official confirmation, but reports. So these reports also say that Takaichi will come to Korea tomorrow, where she is expected to sit down with President Lee Jae-myung. This meeting, of course, has been strongly implied, with Lee himself having written on his Facebook page that he hopes to see her and hold constructive talks in Gyeongju. National Security Advisor Wi Sung-lak last week visited Japan and met with his Japanese counterparts and two former prime ministers who are set to hold considerable power still within the Japanese Conservative Party to keep this so-called shuttle diplomacy ongoing. Local outlets here in Korea said that the two leaders seem to be on the same page to keep the improvements in Korea-Japan relations going. So Takaichi, the self-proclaimed Iron Lady, she's been staunchly conservative in her past politics. However, she has taken a bit of a sit-back, moderate tone, especially when it comes to Korea-Japan relations.
Right.
For example, she has consistently gone and paid respects at the controversial Yasukuni Shrine, which houses remains or at least plaques for Class A war criminals. She actually skipped that visit this fall. So, prime ministerial, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thanks for going over all the details of, the summits that happen and meetings that are soon to happen. Now we're going to go across the world to Cameroon, where the world's oldest president, basically just renewed his term.
So this is Paul Biya, the world's oldest president, current age 92. And he has just please take that with air quotes, an 8th term in office. So on Monday local time, Cameroon's Constitutional Council declared that the incumbent, Biya, has secured 53.66% of the votes in the October 12th election. Opposition candidate Issa Tichiroma Bakarli receiving 35%.
So you said with air quotes. So this has been widely disputed, and it's been quite violent.
Deadly, even. So the election has seen deadly violence. In recent days, hundreds of the opposition leaders' supporters have defied protest bans in several cities and clashed with security forces. On Sunday, according to reports, at least 4 people were killed. The situation is so tense in the capital that almost all shops and schools remain closed, most civil servants and officials staying home. There's been accusations of election fraud. An association of 8 civic groups pointed to cases where names of deceased, people who are dead, were left on the voter registration. Inequities in distribution of voter ballots, attempts at ballot stuffing. However, observers from the African Union said that the election was conducted mostly under regional, continental, and international standards.
I see, but I don't know. That mostly part kind of gets me. Just saying. All right, yesterday, we talked about how a former White House advisor floated the idea of Donald Trump's maybe 3rd term. And now Trump himself, he has commented on this.
Right. So during his Asia trip, he told reporters recently that he has, quote, not ruled out a possibility of seeking a 3rd term, saying that he would love to do it, calling the idea too cute and that it wouldn't be right. But that's not a no. Right. So it's unclear how he or his team are thinking about going about doing this. But there was a possibility that was floated how he would run for VP vice president in the next election and then just kind of take over. Trump actually rejected that idea.
Okay. Well, of course, violating the Constitution, I don't know. That's a big no-no, is it not? And it wouldn't be considered cute.
It's not cute.
Right?
It is not cute. So even House Speaker, Republican Mike Johnson, who is one of the strongest Trump allies, actually kind of shut that down. He said he doesn't think the president could find a way around the presidential term limits, and basically this wouldn't be right. Some pundits are saying that this is intentionally calculated. It's a political move to basically get rid of the lame duck period towards the end of his presidency to kind of keep speculations ongoing. However, whether this be a politically strategic comment or a serious one, any president joking about violating the Constitution is concerning nonetheless.
Yes. Well, thank you for going over all the top stories. And of course, we'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
We are due for our first song break for this Wednesday morning. So here is Daybreak's 좋다.
사랑 노래가 너무 많았어 어떤 노래로 고백을 할까 처음 본 순간 Fall in love with you 미칠 것 같은데 널 사랑하는데 네가 있어 좋다 사랑해서 좋다 다른 말로 설명할 수 없는 이 기분 너무나도 좋다 너와 함께하는 이 순간 영원히 간직할 이 기분 멋진 말들로 꾸며댈수록 나의 마음을 가릴 것 같아 빼고 더 빼고 줄여갈수록 보석과도 같이 남아있는 이 한마디 좋다 사랑해서 좋다 다른 말로 설명할 수 없는 이 기분 너무나도 좋다 너와 함께하는 이 순간 영원히 간직할 이 기분 왠지 서툴러 보이는 작은 두 글자로 나의 마음을 전할게 네가 있어 좋다 사랑해서 좋다 다른 말로 설명할 수 없는 이 기분 너무나도 좋다 너와 함께하는 이 순간 영원히 간직할 이 기분 영원히 간직할 이 기분
This is announcement regarding power outage work at the Noksan relay station. There will be a power outage due to electrical work by the Korea Electric Power Corporation at the Noksan relay station. Please be advised that from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Wednesday, October 29th, the 103.3 MHz transmission in the western Busan and Noksan areas will be suspended, restricting listening access. We ask for the understanding of our listeners. BEFM will do its best to ensure the normal restoration of the Noksan relay station. This is brought to you by BFM 부산영어방송.
It is time for Now and Next. We have Lian here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
It's harder to get up in the morning, right? Especially for you, I bet. Because it's like feels like winter.
It
now
does. It
in the
went from
morning.
like, oh, I love this weather to, oh my gosh, it's cold.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to get out of bed anymore.
Exactly. I finally turned on
the heater.
The 전기장판. I know people have mixed feelings about it. I like my electric blanket, so
Yeah, whatever
I turned
makes
it
you
on.
comfortable.
yes.
Works.
Well, I do want to get to our text topic. Are you good at the art of the deal? Are you good at making deals, wheeling and dealing?
I don't make deals with anyone because I am an introvert. I just kind of say, I'll do whatever feels comfortable. But I do do a lot of negotiating with my kids.
Oh, your kid.
And
That's important.
I wanted to ask you because you're a mother of 3.
Yes, I was like,
you're not a kid.
No, I'm not a kid. Mother of 3, mom of 3. Okay.
And I'm just a mother of 2. But I always have the question in my back of my head. Am I supposed to negotiate this or am I supposed to tell them authoritatively 엄마가 하라면 해 or 이거 하니까 이거 할래 이렇게 할래. I feel so like
Oh, really?
less authoritative.
For me, I don't negotiate.
Oh, you don't negotiate.
But I say it in a nice way.
Oh, and
so
explain.
it sounds like I'm not telling them, I'm suggesting it.
But they know it's like
yeah, so
a
I was
demand.
like, I usually say, 이렇게 하면 어떨까 in the nicest way possible.
Right.
And I was telling Haley off here early this morning. I've been blessed though because like overall my kids were not boisterous. They weren't like they didn't go through that like 중이 phase of like being like teenage and rebellious.
Yeah.
그런 시기가 없었어요.
I
So
see.
I did luck out. So maybe that's why I never had to do the like 하라면 해. 그런 거는 I don't think I've ever said that. So it's more of a suggesting in the nicest way possible. But later on, like my kids, they're a little bit older now. They said they appreciated that I never like forced them to study.
Really?
공부하라고 한 적 없어요. It's like they did it on their own. So I was just like,
That's the best.
right. 그래서 I don't know with kids though, but some kids I have to say, like I look at I don't know if they're listening, my niece and nephew. Sometimes I'm like, 이건 좀
힘들다.
힘들다. 얘기해야 돼.
맞아요.
No negotiating. Yes. Well, let's jump into Now and Next.
Yes. So in terms of trends,
Yes.
so we're going to talk about a bit of a shift in how people are spending their money. What analysts call this Feelconomy trend.
Feelconomy.
Feel plus economy.
Economy.
Everyone.
Oh, what is this?
What do you think
Feelconomy.
it might mean? Feelconomy. 뭐 feeling 좋게 하는 economy?
I don't know
인가요?
because if it's like a kind of like a 콩글리시면 feel을 따라서 I don't know.
Go with the feel.
Go with the feel.
feel 꽂히면 그냥
Yeah,
살아. 뭐 이럴 수도
no?
있고.
What does it mean?
Well, basically, it's very simple. Consumers are basically paying for small and immediate comfort. Basically, so the feel comes from I want to feel slightly better. That's where I'm going to spend my money.
Okay.
We're not talking about a new car or a designer bag to make yourself feel better. We're talking about small things like hotel grade towels, soft pajamas, better socks.
Oh, no, I get it.
짱짱한 양말, or the kind of like little upgrades you use every single day.
No, I get it. Now.
And I totally noticed this trend because on my SNS, I started seeing lots of advertisements for towels. I was like, what's the thing with towels? 그냥 속옷 그냥 쓰는 거 아니야? 근데 the marketing and the branding was so nice that I actually wanted to buy them. These super nice towels.
The thread count matters.
The thread count and the design, the color combination is so hip. I don't know. So I think this is what they're aiming for.
They suckered you in.
Yeah, they sucked me in. I didn't know what I was doing. I was getting into this Feelconomy.
Yes.
So basically, with premium towel labels, they've been the things of in the past, like a gift that you get at a banquet or a 돌잔치, right? Or when you open up a hospital or a new business. But now you buy for yourself. You just spend it on it's like a little bit of a 소확행, right?
But it's like it's small enough, but it's like, I don't know, like it makes you feel better though.
Yes,
doesn't it?
because you use it every day.
You do.
And 쓸 때마다 좋다, 뽀송뽀송하다, 예쁘다.
Look at our producer. 귀여운 거 사면 기분이 좋거든요.
Yeah, and I love how she says 좋거든요. 맞아, 너무 좋거든요.
그래요.
맞아요. 무슨 느낌인지 알죠?
알죠.
So, actually the cart data backs it up. Average spending per purchase at top towel brands rose by roughly a third in the last 2 years.
Oh, really?
And yes, the prices often sit in the 10 to 20,000 won range per towel, with some of them above even 30,000.
That's expensive.
People are investing in these towels, and that's not luxury in the old sense. It's kind of attainable relief, right? We can afford it, and we're gonna do it. Because again, for 30 seconds, you use it to dry your face every day, and then you feel a little better about yourself.
I love that. The 30 seconds.
30초 동안 더 행복했다.
Yes. The plush, towels.
Right.
Right. And you bought them yourself, so you're like, I know how good these are.
Yes. So these little luxuries they say, have big effect. And so the logic behind this Feelconomy is basically emotional self-management. People increasingly frame purchases based on the idea of, they ask themselves, will buying this kind of help me calm me down? Or will this make my space easier to live in? If you don't feel you can safely show stress or sadness at work, you won't process those things publicly, right?
Okay.
You preempt them privately.
Yes.
And that shows up as these non-flashy upgrades with things that have immediate payoff, like towels, sleepwear that's very breathable. 너무 이렇게 뽀송뽀송한 거 해가지고. So basically, it's a satisfaction that's instant, repeatable, and it makes you feel like you're in control of your life, of your level of comfort. That's the basic idea.
I get it.
But here's where it gets kind of more interesting.
Sure.
Feeling management, Feelconomy, it's not just about buying goods. It's about also buying services.
Services?
And so these services include basically it helps you shield you from uncomfortable situations.
Such as? We need an example.
Such as, in Japan, there's agencies that help you resign from your workplace. They're called resignation by proxy agencies. So basically, you want to quit your job. And we all know we're not going to see these people again. 근데 이건 해야 되는 거고 불편한 거고.
Yeah, the uncomfortable feeling.
And because you have to give them like a 1 month notice or whatever. I mean, there's the company that takes care of you. Takes care of you in terms of all of this process. And it's just a few thousands of yen. And basically this company, they call your employer. They may not manage the paperwork and the relationship for you.
That is so weird, though. Like having somebody like a third party.
Right.
엄마도 아니고. 근데 그것도 I'm so against like having your mother call
of course.
your work. But having a third party contact your management and say, oh, by the way, Ms. Catherine Bang, she's going to be quitting.
Exactly. That's
like in a
month.
What?
That is, I can't even imagine.
And you should never burn bridges, though.
Huh?
You should never burn bridges
right,
exactly.
when
you're leaving an employee.
Yeah, leave them on a good note.
Because you just never know.
Yeah, because it's such a small industry.
Right.
Are you sure you're never going to meet someone who's related to that company?
I guess people do it, though.
Yes. People in Japan, apparently, there's a demand, so there's the supply. But also in the U.S., there's AI call agents that handle the drudgery we avoid, such as canceling cable.
I know why.
Switching phone plans. Or asking airlines to afford delay compensation. Like, you need to compensate for my delay in my flight. So the selling point isn't the time saved alone, because we always have to go through the automatically, voice system and press number 2 and the front. But also the emotion saved. You have to ask them, can you pay me back for the lack of service? And can you cancel this phone line for me, or
and always I remember there have been instances where I've called to cancel and then the customer service rep, they're always really trained to be really nice.
Exactly.
And then sometimes it can convince you not to.
Are you talking about the mobile phone
whether
lines?
It's that or for anything else? I remember this it's a couple times it's I called to cancel, but they're oh, but then if you stay with our services, we'll give you an extra 40% off, and you're oh, should I? Should
And
I stay?
I know, and then I ended up doing that.
Yes.
And then there's always something at the back, like 1년 약정 더 추가돼 있었고.
That's
이런 게
true.
있죠.
That's true. So,
Yes. So a lot of people, there's people. Some people in the U.S. are using AI call agents to, save themselves from these social stress. Or people are, hiring agencies to resign for them. But experts say there is a caution to take here. If every negative emotion is treated like a glitch that you want to eliminate in your life, you risk kind of losing range. And Alice warned against standardizing emotion, which is a mindset where only upbeat, happy states are seen as normal, and anything else other than being happy is a fault that needs to be patched with some kind of a purchase, and whether it's like a service or a small goods.
Really?
So, discomfort has information in it itself, right? Sometimes it tells you that you need to renegotiate some kind of workload.
Sure.
Or you need to learn how to have a hard conversation, and you have to stop avoiding things all the time. So, the experts do warn against from using these services too much. But when used well, these Feelconomy buys you kind of breathing room in a very hectic day-to-day life.
I'm smiling to myself right now because I feel so guilty right now. There are sometimes calls that I dread.
Right. And what do you do? Do you make your husband do it?
No, my younger sister. I feel so bad right now.
Oh, what are the calls that you dread?
Like ending services or asking about things again, because sometimes I feel embarrassed because people assume on the phone, because my Korean, it sounds good.
Right.
They think
I totally understand what you're talking
다
about.
이해했다고 생각하고
근데
but
말이
I
너무
didn't.
빠르잖아요.
근데 이해 못했어요.
다시 말씀해 주실래요? 근데 똑같이 빠르게 말해줘요.
Exactly.
That's the worst part.
And then so I just 대충 I go 네네, and then I pass the phone like this, to my sister, real, and then she knows. She's like, "What do you need to know?" I was like, 이거 이해 잘 못했는데 can you call?
Right.
And she knows my personal info so well. She's like, oh, she knows.
She's just that's on top of her head.
Yeah, my alien registration number, she off the top of my head, and she's like, our voices are similar enough. They're like, is this you? She's like, nah, but I'm right next to her,
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, ask her. 되게 미안하네요.
So if you didn't have a sister like that,
it would be my roommate.
You might be.
But you know what's worse?
Using these services.
Yeah, I might be using these services because my roommate uses me. He's worse than I am.
For what?
For anything. His Korean is worse than mine.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so it's like a chain. He hands it to me, and then if I don't understand,
it's like your sister.
Hands it to my sister.
동생아 좀 와라.
Oh, it's not me. It's your 형부. Yes. So, what is the way we can use this well, though? What would you say, Lian? What are some rules?
What are some rules?
Yes.
So, there are small upgrades. That you can take for something that's repeatedly a pain in your life, right? So if your apartment towel, for example, these are shedding after 3 washes and they're not looking well, they're not making you happy, it's okay to buy the better towel. And it's okay to buy nice luxury towels for yourself if it's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
And also if a recurring bill takes about 50 minutes of phone time every month, you can, outsource this once in a while to, relieve yourself from the stress.
Sure.
But again, don't let the comfort impulse, block needed frictions in your day-to-day life because we need a certain level of stress.
A little
life.
bit.
Right. We
It's
need
good
to
for
know
you.
how to buffer it to go on. We can't have everything so comfortable in life, right?
Yes.
So, because if we start depending too heavily on these comfort services, we start to believe we must always be happy and we must lack discomfort in our lives. So,
Which is unrealistic.
that is unrealistic.
Yes.
And I fear that that might become the life for my kids, especially because there's so many services that do everything for you these days.
Right.
I
but
don't want them to
sometimes-
grow so weak.
Yeah, we need to do things on our own.
Exactly.
Okay, so I will not pass the phone to my sister again. At least not for today.
You should demand 천천히 말씀하시라고요. 뭐 한국말 못한다고요?
네. Well, thank you for giving us the lowdown on these trends and, of course, how to incorporate them in our lives.
Yes.
And we'll check in with you next week. Thank you, Lian.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up hour number 1. This is Scar Tissue by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
that I wish you saw. Sarcastic Mr. Know-It-All. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you, 'cause with the birds I'll share. With the birds I'll share this lonely view. And with the birds I'll share this lonely view. And push me up against the wall. Young tuck girl in a push-up bra. Falling all over myself to lick your heart and taste your heel, 'cause with the birds I share this lonely view. And with the birds I share this lonely view. And with the birds I share this lonely view. Blood loss in a bathroom stall. A southern girl with a scarlet draw. A wave goodbye to Ma and Pa, 'cause with the birds I'll share. With the birds I'll share this lonely view. And with the birds I'll share this lonely view. Soft spoken with a broken jaw. Step outside but not to brawl. And autumn sweet with call it fall. I'll make it to the moon if I have to crawl. And with the birds I share this lonely view. And with the birds I share this lonely view. And with the birds I share this lonely view. Mr. Know-It-All. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you, 'cause with the birds I'll share. With the birds I'll share this lonely view. And with the birds I'll share this lonely view. And with the birds I'll share this lonely view. 부산영어방송.
랜드로버의 모든 것이 한 곳에 전시장과 서비스 센터가 만나 랜드로버 부산 센텀 컴플렉스 센터로 더 새로워졌습니다. 신차 상담에서 애프터 서비스까지 원스톱 서비스를 만나다. 랜드로버 공식 리테일러 HS 효성 프리미어 모터스.
한국전쟁 당시 우리를 먼저 도운 에티오피아 6천여 명의 군인들은 자신들의 월급을 모아 부모 잃은 아이들을 위해 보화원이라는 고아원도 세워주었습니다. 그러나 지금 에티오피아는 위기에 처해 있습니다. 끊이지 않는 내정과 기후재난으로 대부분의 의료시설은 파괴되었고 의약품도 부족해 간단히 치료할 수 있는 질병으로 사망에 이르는 상황입니다. 바로 지금이 우리가 에티오피아에 진 빚을 갚을 때입니다. 지금 전화해주세요. 후원 문의 080-982-0119 국제구조위원회.
기업체 사장님들 아직도 직영으로 식당 운영하고 계십니까? 위탁급식과 도시락 전문기업 더 좋은 푸드에 맡겨보십시오. 운영비 절감 효과 확실합니다. 식대는 협의 후 맞춰드립니다. 지역 부산 경남 051-784-0877 051-784-0877.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전. 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
안녕하세요. 개그맨 이상훈입니다. 올스타 잉글리시가 준비한 공개방송 We Are K 드디어 여러분을 찾아갑니다. R&B의 황제 한희영 우리 김조한씨, 아츠 러블리즈 예인, DJ 페리와 피리 연주자 김지윤의 K-EDM 스테이지, 선물이 빵빵 터지는 다양한 이벤트까지.
All-Star English Everyday Star 신민수입니다. 부기도 오고 날씨 요정도 옵니다, 여러분. K-부산, K-pop, K-sound, a global festival of music, English and culture at We Are K.
동아 인터내셔널 데이와 함께하는 올스타 잉글리시 공개방송 11월 6일 목요일 오후 4시 동아대 부민 캠퍼스에서 만나요.
저 러블리즈 예인이도 함께해요. 모두 함께 만나요. 아츄.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
It's now 8 o'clock. This is hour number 2 of Morning Wave in Busan. This is Spotlight News. Lee Jae-myung and Trump to hold summit today. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump today for their second summit, as he is set to attend multiple APEC events in the diplomatic super week. Top officials from Seoul and Washington have been holding meetings over the trade deal, but the two sides reportedly have not bridged the difference over the $350 billion U.S. investment deal. President Trump, in the meantime, told reporters that the U.S. is working on a plan to facilitate the entry of experts from foreign corporations building factories on U.S. soil to prevent immigration issues like the one involving some 300 South Korean workers detained in Georgia. North Korea test fires cruise missiles as Trump proposes meeting with Kim Jong-un. Pyongyang has announced that it test-fired ship-to-surface strategic cruise missiles in the West Sea as it has stayed silent to U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestion on a meeting with Chairman Kim Jong-un during Trump's Asia trip. Trump has so far made two separate comments, including how he could extend his visit in South Korea and discuss sanctions against North Korea in an apparent attempt to appease Pyongyang. South Korea's unification minister, Chung Dong-young, told the parliament that given the logistical issues involved, Pyongyang would need to respond by today in order to make the meeting happen. Prosecutors appeal Kakao founder's acquittal. The Seoul number prosecution said that it has appealed the court's not guilty verdict of Kakao Corporation founder Kim Bum-soo involving stock manipulation charges related to the company's takeover of SM Entertainment. The prosecution claimed that the court had made factual and legal misunderstandings in reaching the decision, emphasizing that Kakao illegally manipulated SM Entertainment stocks, hurting innocent investors in the process. The case will now go to the Seoul High Court for an appeals trial. Father and daughter found not guilty in makgeolli murder retrial. The Gwangju High Court yesterday handed down a not guilty verdict in the retrial of the father and daughter previously found guilty of murder of two people with poisoned makgeolli or rice wine after 16 years. The court said that the prosecution's investigation against the father, who is illiterate, and the daughter, who has a borderline developmental disability, was illegal, striking down the validity of their confessions. The father was sentenced to a life sentence and the daughter 20 years. The two had served in prison for the last 15 years. Israel launches strikes on Gaza. Israel has launched strikes on Gaza, killing at least 3, according to news agencies, after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered for immediate powerful attacks to the military. Israel and Hamas have accused each other of violating the ceasefire, with Israel's defense minister claiming that Hamas attacked Israeli soldiers in Gaza. The conflict is over the return of the bodies of Israeli hostages. Israel says a coffin handed over by Hamas on Monday did not contain the remains of a deceased hostage. Hamas says Israel is obstructing its search for bodies. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for Wagga Wagga. Haley's back.
Hello again.
Yes, yes. And so for this round, we're going to kick off with some fun, lighter aspects of the APEC summit.
Right, because with these major events, there are a lot of preparations taking place on the sidelines. So we went over the very, very VIP list of the heads of state and economic leaders. Let's look at some cultural A-listers who are going to be partaking at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Gyeongju. Yes, of course. First, today, we're going to see a pop star, RM Kim Namjoon of BTS, at the APEC CEO Summit. Right. So he will actually give the keynote speech on the cultural creative industry in the APEC region and the soft power of K-culture. For some of you who are not aware, he's a seasoned public speaker at these international events, having spoken, for example, at the United Nations General Assembly some years back, among others. However, for the APEC Summit itself, this is the very first time that a K-pop singer and artist will be serving as the keynote speaker. Another major name, G-Dragon. He is the official honorary ambassador. Although he won't be partaking or speaking at any of the actual events, he has been focusing on media PR.
That's right. And our friend
of the show,
Chef Edward Lee, is going to be working on the summit menu.
Right. So this superstar culinary class wars, himself is a very celebrated chef. He's going to be presenting a Korean course at the welcome dinner, melding traditional Korean culture and fusion cuisine, very in line with his brand, right?
Yes.
Korean American chef. Ingredients will include Gyeongju's regional specialties like their Hanu beef, flatfish, a gajame from the East Coast, and abalone.
Oh.
And we're just talking off air about how hungry. Well, I just ate, so I'm good. But sorry, the betrayal.
I am so hungry, and our producer is so hungry. We'll just leave it at that. We don't want to add her too much. So, we're gonna move on a little bit. This is not such a great side of what's happening in the country right now. This xenophobia against China.
I mean, xenophobia, it crosses lines to racism real quick. So a cafe in Seoul's popular Seongsu district has put up a sign saying they're refusing service to Chinese nationals.
Wow.
Yeah. This is, online on their cafe's Instagram tagline in the bio wrote, "We're sorry," and this is in English, "We're sorry, we do not accept Chinese guests." This then was reposted by a Chinese influencer and then made its way around the international web, including on Reddit. And most responses, as you can imagine, critical about how racist this all seems.
Exactly. However, the owner of this cafe is standing by this position.
Right, and the owner actually spoke to some media outlets about it, saying that, and these are all their claims, but that Chinese customers changed the vibe of the store. Other customers feel feel uncomfortable, and the owner is afraid of crimes perpetrated by Chinese nationals or involving them. And he cited cases of, for example, a Chinese customer or customers will walk in, and other presumably Korean customers will say things like, "Oh, they're Chinese," or use derogatory phrases to describe them. He also added that it's been a week since this no Chinese customer policy began, and they will continue until the social sentiments decline. So the irony is that he's doing this because of the anti-Chinese sentiments, and once they die down, he will start accepting Chinese customers again, which seems like an oxymoron, just on a personal note. This is, however, a sign that the anti-Chinese sentiment that's been unfortunately prevalent in some pockets of online communities, well, that's been spreading to offline spaces. So head of the Seongdong-gu district in Seoul has been informed of this and said he agrees with the concerns expressed, meaning this being racist or discriminatory, of course, and will try to do his best to convince this business, but it is a private business.
The thing is this, though, I'm sure this is not a singular case. Experts are concerned.
Exactly. So, for example, Professor Hong Sung-soo of Sungmyeong Women's University pointed out that this cannot be seen, as you said, as a singular incident, that these anti-Chinese or racist sentiments have been bubbling under, and that's collided recently with some political agenda and then bubbling over.
Yes.
And said that any silence and even allowances by the authorities and politicians can affect this trend.
Right.
And specifically, allowing certain businesses to ban entry to certain individuals can give off dangerous signals that society as a whole is allowing for discrimination, and we're staying silent to it.
Right. And as one of our listeners, 블랑크님, 중국인만 범죄 저지르니 한국인도 충분히 가능한, and basically they're saying it's not just Chinese nationals that may perpetrate crimes. People of all nationalities, including Korean people, perpetrate crimes. So point taken. So thank you for that comment. All right, let's move on to another social matter. Bullying. Some universities are taking a zero tolerance approach towards bullies, even down to their admissions. I saw this.
Right, and this isn't about bullying perpetrated while the student is enrolled at the university. It's about their past. So specific one, Gyeongbuk National University, in its 2025 admissions, it failed all 22 applicants who have had history of disciplinary action from bullying or school violence. So the university from this year reflects this disciplinary history related to violence and docks points accordingly.
Yes.
So how much? A little bit of background. In Korean schools, school violence disciplinary action, it is divided into 9 different levels. Lowest level 1, a student, the bully is required to give a written apology.
Yes.
To level 9, they're expelled. So for levels 1 through 3, the university is imposing a 10-point deduction onto the applicant. Levels 4 through 7, 50 points. Highest 8 and 9, whopping 150 points. So with this, 11 applicants in the school's early admissions and the regional talents, which is kind of like a regional affirmative action category, didn't make the cut. Students in the essay, 논술 category, rural regional talent, sports or art categories also got dropped from their application process.
So this got a lot of coverage, and many people are applauding it. This is the toughest stance that we've seen thus far, but many other schools are, I guess, following suit.
Right. So the country's 10 education universities. So please note that all of these schools that have taken action so far are public or national universities.
Okay.
They said they're reflecting this history, the students, not academic, but bullying history, into admissions decisions starting from next year. So in terms of national education universities, Seoul, Busan, Gyeongin, and Jinju said they're going to automatically fail applicants who have had history of school violence perpetrators because they would see them as unqualified.
Okay.
I mean, these are future teachers
Yes.
who are going to be there. Earlier, lawmaker Kang Kyung-suk of the Rebuilding Korea Party said during the Parliamentary Education Committee that national universities all right now seem to have different metrics of how they apply this history onto admissions processes and called for a more unified stand. And as you said, netizens have applauded this decision by Gyeongbuk National University.
Yes, because we do want to really pluck out bullying early
Also,
on.
I mean, to represent both sides, I have seen arguments like, do we hold them accountable for their past action for how long and by how much. But do keep in mind that this is a sliding scale for the lower level violations. It's a 10-point deduction. But 8 and 9, by the way, for someone to get expelled or suspended for bullying, it's like there was physical harm.
Yes. All right, for our final story, this is a story of modern day Jean Valjean.
A little Les Miserables for this morning.
Yes.
However, this time, the police officers who handled the case were nothing like Javert, meaning they were compassionate. All right, so enough with the Les Miserables reference. Let's get to the story. I had a little bit of fun. So according to reports, this man in his 50s in Cheongju, he went to a convenience store, tried to convince the clerk to give him about 50,000 won worth of food on loan, so 외상, until the next day. And he said, I'm so hungry. I don't have any money right now. Can you please just give it to me for free for now? Well, the clerk refused because if they're not the owner, then the money has to come out of their own pocket. So you get both sides.
Yes.
At that point, the man opened up his coat and had a paring knife inside. So it's kwado. It's not a huge knife, but still it's still a knife. It's a knife.
Yes.
And then at that point, he just took the food and walked out of the store with it. So the clerk called the police. The police used CCTV footage and tracked him down 3 days later, arrested him in his home. Here's what happened. When the police went inside his home at the time of the arrest, the man was just lying in bed, just skinny. So skinny, starved, and he was so weak that when the police actually helped him up, he fell down. Right. So, I mean, then, of course, the police officers are doing their job, but on a humane level, what do? So they made a decision, a compassionate one. Instead of booking him, meaning taking him into custody right away, they actually went and fed him chuk, so the porridge, took him to a doctor's office, paid not with the station's money, but out of pocket to give him an IV drip.
Oh, my gosh.
Right. And by the way, they're not cheap.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, his family, he had next of kin, but they refused to take responsibility and take him in.
No.
So, I mean, that's a personal family story that we don't know. So the police then took him to a grocery store, bought him food, and sent him home. Turns out it was a day laborer and he had been out of work since July.
Okay.
His bank account had been seized due to overdrafts and overdue loans.
Okay.
He had no idea that basic welfare services were even available, things like food stamps. So the police took him to the local community center and they helped him out with getting the paperwork started to put him on basic welfare. And in the meantime, because paperwork does take time, he will receive 76만 원, 760,000 won in temporary support per month. Cheongju City also said that they will help him get a job.
Well, I'm glad we ended on this story. A story where, it's about humanity. Is it not at the end?
Let's look at the full picture.
Yes. Well, thank you for all the Wager stories, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
See you tomorrow.
All right. And now, listeners, it's time for your updated traffic and weather. It's now time for your traffic update. First up, let's talk about a cargo truck that is broken down on Gwang'an Bridge, that top portion on the off-ramp from the bridge. So as you can imagine, that's causing a lot of backup right now. Also, the Dongso overpass is congested from Hakjang ramp to the old Gaegeum toll gate. It's backed up on Manduk-daero from Manduk Tunnel number 2 to Manduk intersection. And there's also traffic buildup from Ulsukdo Bridge toll gate to Luno Samsung-daero, the Myeongji underpass. Currently, it is 5 degrees Celsius. It's going to go up to 18. That makes for a big gap between the current temperature and the expected high. Looking at the weather nationwide, it's clear with morning lows between 2 and 12 degrees. Afternoon highs ranging anywhere between 16 to 20 degrees depending on where you are. So this was your traffic and weather. It is time for today's special interviews. The first Global City Tourism Summit took place in Haeundae, Busan from the 27th, and it's ongoing for 3 days. So this is hosted by Busan City and the Tourism Promotion Organization known as TPO. And the summit, it's all about boosting local tourism, promoting digital innovation, and positioning Busan as a global tourism hub. So there were around 400 participants, including tourism officials from 22 cities across 14 countries, representatives from international organizations and leaders from academia and industry. They all attended this event. So among the invited experts, I had the honor of meeting two extraordinary women. First up, we're going to listen to an interview with Ms. Salenge Chulun. She's the head of the Saint Uchrul Foundation in Mongolia. And secondly, with Dr. Christiane Amiel. She is the Deputy Mayor for International Relations of Nice, France. So let's take a listen to these interviews. All right, listeners, we are at the first Global City Tourism Summit. It's obviously here in Busan. We're so excited to be here. So I have someone very special next to me. Her name is Ms. Salenge Chulun, and she is the head of the Saint Uchrul Foundation. But I'm going to let her do her own introduction. So let's say hi first. Hi, welcome to Busan.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for welcoming us in Busan. I'm Salenge Chulun from Mongolia, and I'm a head of Saint Uchrul Foundation. And our team here in Busan to organizing our project called Uchrul. This is the 7th our project, and we have a strong fruitful collaboration with Busan.
Yes. So in terms of this foundation, can you tell us a little bit more? We're very curious as to what your foundation does and maybe its main projects.
So we've been founded since 2010. We've been here for 16 years. And our foundation's main project is for the vulnerable citizens, especially for the handicapped people. So and also the single moms. Our projects for the single moms to helping them out, help them to find out the job, help them to starting a new business, and we're trying our best to encourage and supporting them. And one of the projects we are implementing in Busan is Uchrul, which is there are so many Mongolians working in Korea, and they are missing their families. Some of them are even not meeting the children for 10 years and 12 years. So we bring the kids here to see their parents, and parents are very happy and missing them, and they are happy to meet in Busan.
I'm sure. What an amazing but so many amazing things that your foundation does.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. We're excited to hear more about your work.
This time we came to Busan with 10 kids, and then 10 parents are waiting for their kids in Busan.
Wow.
So that's such a very memorable and very nice moment to see them.
Yes.
Happy to meet.
What a reunion. I can't imagine for the parents as well as the children to see their loved ones, right?
Yes.
Well, I also want to share Mongolia with our listeners and viewers here in Busan in Korea, and our viewers and listeners are actually from all over the world. So when people from Busan, let's say they go to Mongolia. So which places would you recommend? You know what? This is a must-see location. What would you say?
So Mongolia is full of breathtaking natural landscapes and fascinating cultural sites. So it's one of the places on earth where you can still experience vast and untouched wilderness. So especially, the Gobi Desert is the main part of Mongolia's tourism attractions.
Yes.
And there are so many places where nobody touched and wildernesses are there. So I will strongly suggest them to go to Mongolia's Gobi Desert.
The Gobi Desert.
Because I was born in Gobi Desert as well.
Really?
Yes.
I
did.
Yes, yes. And what part of Mongolian culture are you most proud of? Like, you know, if people from Busan or Korea go to visit Mongolia, you know, this is something that I'm really proud of.
So Mongolia is one of the last places where nomadic herding is still a way of life for many people. So if you are curious to know, curious to see about the herd's life, you can see over there.
So nomad herding. If this is something you're interested in, our listeners or viewers, you might want to go to Mongolia.
Yeah, obviously the Ulaanbaatar city is a very modern city. In the same time, the herd's life is still existing in the same time. Yeah.
So it's definitely a mixture of modernity, still with the traditions of Mongolia, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. And, you know, Busan and, of course, Mongolia, from what I understand, have already started to build strong ties through things like tourism and culture. But another way for two cities or places to really connect is through medical tourism. So what do you find most appealing, first of all, about Busan's medical tourism?
So Busan's medical tourism is appealing for several reasons. So it combines high-quality healthcare with cities, natural beauty and culture and hospitality. In my opinion, comparing to countries like the US or Japan, the prices of the medical services are cheaper than that countries and is still remaining the highest standard as well.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm not going to disagree. I thoroughly agree with you. So thank you for saying such nice things. So what kind of medical services in particular do you think, or treatments, might attract more Mongolian visitors when they come to Busan? What do you think?
For example, like surgeries and medical surgeries. For me, like the Busan, especially the Korea, it's really important and vital for our life because we are facing some medical issues in my family, and all of my family came to Korea in Busan, and then they are healing now. Really? So I'm so proud of Busan's medical field. It's very, very high quality, in the same time, affordable price.
So yes, the high quality yet, you know, affordable pricing might make it more attractive for Mongolian
and
visitors.
good services and natural beauty, culture in the same time.
Such kind things that you're saying. Well, you know, I also want to look to the future because I hope that, you know, between Busan, South Korea, obviously, and Mongolia, that there are plans for further cooperation to really grow this relationship and partnership forward. So what are your opinions in terms of the current cooperation and also for the future cooperation? What do you think?
So as I mentioned earlier, currently we are having a strong, fruitful collaboration across the several fields. And also, we have a lot of chances to collaborate again, especially education and cultural exchange, and medical tourism, as well as good connections with education sector,
education as
like foreign programs implementing in Busan. We can having a joint programs or something like that. So I think in future, our students and also our lecturers can come to Busan to, you know, developing their, improving their English, improving their Korean language, because Korea is such a fascinating and wonderful country which can influence the world, like K-pop, K-drama, K-food, and things like that.
Yes, yes. So as we wrap up our discussion today, what are your hopes and expectations? And also, what would you like to say to, we have viewers, like I said, and listeners, not just in Busan, all over Korea, actually all around the world that listen to our program. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to really brag about Mongolia as well. So first, your hopes and expectations, and one last thing you would like to say about Mongolia?
So I hope between Mongolia and Korea, so many Mongolians wants to go to Korea for the medical tourism, to study, but the main barrier is the visa issues. So I hope in the future that maybe the visa is not going to be issue for Mongolians, and you know, our two countries have a really good tight collaboration between Mongolia and Korea. So I hope whoever wants to go to Korea, whoever wants to go to Mongolia, there will be no barriers, and you know, they're exchanging a cultural.
From what you're saying, we definitely hear you, and for whoever the decision makers may be, to work on visa issues, for further collaboration between the two cultures and countries, of course, to lower the barrier for both sides, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So thank you for inviting me for such a nice interview.
Yes.
This is my first experience.
Well, you did wonderfully, so thank you so much for coming on air with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, this was our special interview with Miss Salenge Chulun, and she's the head, once again, of Sane Utril Foundation. All right, listeners, first of all, I want to say a big welcome to Mrs. Christiane Amiel. She is the Deputy Mayor for International Relations for the city of Nice, France. And so we are here at the first Global City Tourism Summit once again. And before we dive in, though, we would love an introduction of yourself, if you could tell us who you are and why you're here and what capacity.
I'm Deputy Mayor of Nice. My name is Christiane Amiel. In the civil life, I'm a doctor, I'm a gynecologist, and since 2014, I have the chance to be with the mayor of Nice in the city hall of Nice. So this is nearly 10 years now. And I'm in charge of international relations and sister cities.
Yes. Hello and welcome to Busan. But why are you here in Busan today? Can you tell us, please?
So I'm in Busan for the first Global City Tourism Summit, and I thank a lot the city of Busan and TPO having invited us here to come here and to assist to this summit.
Yes.
That's the reason why I'm here, and I'm very glad to be here.
So we are here once again at the first Global City Tourism Summit, and you know, Nice, so famous, attracting visitors from all around the world, known for its beautiful coastline, but also for its very vibrant art and culture life as well. So what values does Nice aim to share with the world as a global tourism city? If you can brag about Nice, what would you say?
Nice, as you know, it's a city which is situated between mountains and the sea. So we call it the Sea Alps because it goes very high to nearly 3,800 meters high. This is for sport events in wintertime and goes very deep also because it's, as I said, called the Sea Alps, and it goes very deeply to the sea. So Nice is very well known in France now for its sustainable politics and for his environmental politics also, not only for tourism. And for tourism also because it's our first industry is tourism. And to manage tourism today, to a respectful tourism, who is a tourism which the population can live with, and without the population, tourism cannot well. True. So this is a challenge we have to see and we have to face, yes.
Well, Dr. Amiel, I asked you before going on air with you if this was your first visit to Busan. I'm curious though, what was your first impression of Busan? Because Busan, we are also proud of our, our mountains, and we're right by the sea as we speak right now.
There are many similars here.
Yes, first impression of Busan?
It's a very nice city. And it's very far from France.
Indeed.
Yes, I think we have to think about it to make a good connection between France and Busan, because you have a good airport, and we have an airport in Nice, and perhaps we could see with the authorities, and I address myself to the authorities, how we could do to put this long traveling and travel journey and travel hours a little bit more, how would you say, more convenient, because it's only 20 hours.
20 hours.
So it's not only 20 hours to go far because you have to stop and to go and stop and go. Would perhaps be a question for the authorities in Nice and in Busan.
Yes, we need to get that homework done. In terms of Nice, it's also known for its strong global connections and commitment to sustainability and also cultural diversity, from what I understand. So how do you think city diplomacy can help build a more sustainable and also kind of inclusive future? What do you think?
Well, big cities like Busan and smaller cities like Nice, because Nice is a not very big city. Compared to Busan, Nice is a city of 400,000 people. But we have tourism which brings nearly 4 million people to Nice, which is nearly the same number than you have here in Busan. For a very small countryside, if you want this. And so we have to adapt. We have to adapt us to see all these people coming. For instance, with our traffic and with our how to move people and with our mobility.
Yes.
And that's why we try to do. Mobility is very important, and I think also for Busan, when you compare, and you ask me to compare to Busan, for instance, to drive on all these people, we made, for example, a tramway. And I didn't see a tramway in Busan. But tramway in Nice is very important. It's very important to move all these tourists coming from the airport. And we have the tramway coming from the airport, going to the station, going in the middle of the city. And this is very important. And we put out the cars out of the city, which is a big deal and which makes not only people happy. Donc, sometimes people, they are saying, oh yes, I cannot take the car anymore to go straight on. No, you don't go straight on. You park your car, you take the tram, you go in the city. And this is perhaps something we could share with Busan as an idea.
Absolutely. So in terms of other things Nice and Busan could work on together, so you mentioned one part, the mobility, transportation, that angle. Is there anything else that you would like to possibly see between the two cities in the future?
Yes, the two cities in the season. When I came in here, I saw that you have a summit about gastronomic summit.
Oh, yes.
Yes, gastronomic summit is extraordinary. And we say in France that love goes by the stomach. In France, and Nice is France.
Yes.
We adore eating, and we adore kitchen, and we adore gastronomy. It's not only eating, it's gastronomy. Gastronomy and eating, it's not the same thing. And I think Busan, you make this big summit of gastronomy. We make a big summit of gastronomy, and that would be something we could work together. You have also, we could share our experiences with tourism, because your tourism is, yes, you have 4 million people, we have 4 million people, but for a very small city and for a very small countryside. So we could share this experience also. And there is another one we could share, because I know that you in Busan, you make your festival, festival of cinema. And we do it also because we have the studios in Nice, the Victorine, which are very famous in Europe. And so for making films, it's not only Cannes, it's also Nice.
People need to get behind that, right?
Yes, there are people who support it, people who are specialized inside and who make films and make this film economy also working.
So I wish we had more time and to share with you. But as we go to our final question for today, what do you hope for in the future? I know we've already touched upon certain things like gastronomy, festivals, film, cinema, with transportation and mobility. Anything else that you hope for a partnership between Busan and Nice moving forward?
This would be very nice. I think you in Busan, with your kind, to share your festivals, you share your culture, the kind you share also the environment, because because you are also a city which is based on the seaside. Yes. Well, we have the Mediterranean Sea. It's not the same like the big ocean. But when I have a good view from my hotel room on your beach, and I think that your beach, he is so clean, he is so nice, and you could tell perhaps to France, to Nice, how you manage it to clean up and for the property, how you manage it, because you are a city of 3 million or 3.5 million people. How do you manage it as your city is so clean? And perhaps we have things to share. Nice is clean also, but in a different way. Sure. And I think we could share this, not only this, but also our culture. The Asiatic culture is very different from an Occidental culture. Yes. But people in Nice and perhaps people in Busan are very curious and want to share this. And we don't know enough each other, so I think it would be nice to share culture, to share exhibitions of, we have very famous painters like Matisse in Nice, and we have the Matisse Museum, we have Chagall, and you have other artists we perhaps don't know so well. Sure. And this would be nice on culture and gastronomy and films is very important. I think it's a good base to exchange and a good base for developing a good relationship.
Absolutely, from your lips to whoever may be listening, so we can move forward and really work on this relationship. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on air with us today as we, of course, are covering the first Global City Tourism Summit. So thanks for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for your invitation.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody, this was our special interview with Dr. Christiane Amiel. And I hope you enjoyed listening to these two amazing women talk about their respective organizations, once again focusing on the first Global City Tourism Summit in Busan. I'll be back with Jennifer in just a moment. It is now time for Work in Progress. Jennifer's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
It's cold outside.
It is. People can't stop talking about it. And the fact is, we're probably going to be saying it for the next, it's only end of October.
Yeah, we have to get used to it.
Yes. All right. So what are we exploring today for Work in Progress?
Well, today we are diving into a hiring trend that sounds ideal on the surface. Blind recruitment, where companies hide identifiers like names, universities, age, or gender in the early stages of hiring to promote fairness.
Okay.
But like many good ideas, the reality has its own complexities, pros and cons.
Yes, absolutely. So this idea of removing bias, it sounds good. It sounds important. So let's first talk about how this all got started. When did it begin, this idea?
What's interesting is it actually started with orchestra auditions back in the 1970s.
Oh, with music?
Yeah. Once the musicians played behind the curtain, many more women began getting the job. Over the time, companies extended this concept, removing names, schools, and photos from resumes. The intention was to focus purely on skills. Today, many HR experts list blind hiring among the top tools for improving diversity and fairness.
I see. So globally, the momentum is definitely there. So first, let's talk about the major benefits.
Okay. Several stand out. First of all, it helps reduce unconscious bias. Decision makers can't be influenced by perceived gender, age, or background.
What else?
Also, it emphasizes skills and experience over the prestige of a school or a name, which enables a broader candidate pool. People might apply who'd otherwise feel disadvantaged.
I fully understand that. It does sound promising, but earlier, you mentioned some complexity. So what are some of the risks or downsides of using this type of system?
Well, first of all, when you remove personal details, you also lose context. Without knowing someone's background, it can be hard to judge if they would fit into a company's culture or have leadership potential.
Right. I mean, from experience, having sat on many a panel, sometimes you do wonder, you're like, Oh, well, I want to know more about this candidate, and you don't have all the information at your fingertips. So, personality or background, those two things can say a lot about someone's ability to work with a team or be able to adapt, right?
Yeah, exactly. And even if you hide identities at first, bias can still creep back in later. Once interviews begin and names or faces are revealed, unconscious biases or judgments can return. So the fairness isn't guaranteed throughout.
Yes, yes. So basically, it's blind just for the first round. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Plus, implementing it isn't simple. You need system to anonymize resumes, retain interviewers, and redesign your hiring process.
Yes.
All of which take time and, of course, cost money.
So I'm thinking it might work for the bigger, larger companies, but what about for the smaller companies? I'm sure that can be really tough to manage, to go through all these steps to make everything, and everyone anonymous. Take out all the details. And that takes a lot of work.
Definitely. It's not simple as it sounds. And there's one more concern. Some argue that blind hiring removes valuable clues. For instance, career gaps or certain social contexts can actually explain someone's story.
Yes, yes.
When you take all that away, you might lose meaningful information.
So I'm thinking every country handles blind hiring or blind recruitment a little bit differently. So what about here domestically in Korea? How is it done overall?
Well, Korean companies and public programs are experimenting with it still. The motivation is the same, improving fairness and boosting employer brand. But the challenge is that many recruiters still rely on a candidate's school prestige or personal network. Fully blind systems are less common in Korea, and cultural expectations complicate things.
I see. So I imagine cultural factors matter a lot. For example, if the norm is to trust someone with a strong academic background or maybe, a noteworthy network, removing those kind of signals might feel risky for some employers.
Exactly. And also in fields where team fit, language, or connection matter heavily,
yes,
blind hiring may reduce perceived quality. So it's not one size fits all.
So when companies try blind hiring, I guess they have to consider the context and the nature of the work, right? So are there global case examples of blind recruitment done well?
Yes, for example, some tech firms anonymized the applicant names in schools, and they found more women made it past the first round, and diversity improved. Actually, Meanwhile, other firms found that while blind hiring improved numbers, they faced the culture fit and retention issues later on.
Oh, so it's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
So what might a job seeker or company do to ensure blind hiring that it works and that, we can kind of minimize the pitfalls?
Great question. Let's start with companies.
Okay.
Blind screening shouldn't be the whole strategy. It works best as part of a larger system.
Sure.
So combine it with the structured interviews, bias awareness training, and measurable hiring outcomes.
Okay. So it's not just about hiding names and blacking things out, but building this overall fair process?
Yeah, fair process and just the company culture.
Yes.
Yeah, and transparency helps a lot too. Let the candidates know that blind steps are being used, what kind of blind steps are being used, and how decisions are made.
Yes.
When people understand the process, they are more likely to trust it.
Okay, so let's talk about the candidates themselves. How can they prepare for a blind screening or these kind of blind hiring processes?
Focus on what really shows your capability, skills, measurable achievements, and clarity. Since personal details are hidden, your actual work and results carry more weight.
Okay. So if you take away, the personal details, that makes sense. But once the blind part is over, does the company still need to check for that culture fit? Is it a good match?
Oh, absolutely. After the initial anonymous this stage, you still need two-way fit.
Okay.
The company needs to know whether you can thrive there, and you also need to know whether the job truly suits you. So blind hiring opens the door, but the rest of the process should build a relationship.
I see. So rather than seeing kind of blind hiring as just like it's a magic silver bullet, but think of it as a tool in the entire hiring toolkit?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the beginning. It's just a small part of it. But you still need to make effort.
Yes.
I mean, if once you're hired and you find out that this job is not for you, what are you going to do?
And you know what? Yeah. When it's not a right fit, it's bad not just for the employee, but also for the company too, I'm thinking. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And blind hiring can open doors and improve fairness. But if misapplied, it can backfire. Hiring someone without fit, losing context, or spending more time than traditional methods, like other problems creep up.
Yes. So in summary, what should listeners take away from today's discussion?
Well, strive for fairness, but keep the human dimension.
Yes.
Whether you are hiring or applying, remember, removing bias matters, but so does match, context, culture, and mutual clarity.
Sure.
Other things matter as well. So blind processes, properly designed, implemented, can help, but they won't replace judgment.
That's true. So let's keep that in mind. Keep it all in context.
Yes.
But thanks for covering this, because I know nowadays there's a lot of talk regarding blind recruitment, so we have a better idea now.
It's a debatable issue, right?
Yes. Well, thank you so much, and we'll check in with you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everybody, this was Jennifer. And before I let everybody go today, I do want to mark October 29th. Today is actually the third anniversary of the crowd crush in Itaewon that claimed 159 lives. So the government is holding its first ever memorial this morning with a siren that's due to go off at 10:29 a.m. for a moment of silence. Yes, families are still searching for closure, as it was just this year that a joint government inspection revealed that it was a social disaster that came from a lack of responsibility on part of the police and the local government. So hopefully getting some closure and answers after entering now the third anniversary, the third year. So once again, we did want to make sure that we mark this day. And with that, we're going to say goodbye to all of you. I hope you have a very safe and warm Wednesday. How about this one for a final song? This is Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
For all the times that you rain on my parade, and all the clubs you get in using my name. You think you broke my heart, oh girl, for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own, well I ain't. And I didn't wanna write a song, cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care or don't. But you still hit my phone up, and baby, I'll be moving on. And I think it should be something I don't wanna hold back. Maybe you should know that my mama don't like you, and she likes everyone. And I never like to admit that I was wrong. And I've been so caught up in my job, didn't see what's going on, but now I know I'm better sleeping on my own. Cause if you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself. And if you think that I'm still holding on to something, you should go and love yourself. When you told me that you hated my friends, the only problem was with you and not them. And every time you told me my opinion was wrong, and tried to make me forget where I came from. And I didn't wanna write a song, cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care or don't. But you still hit my phone up, and baby, I'll be moving on. And I think it should be something I don't wanna hold back. Maybe you should know that my mama don't like you, and she likes everyone. And I never like to admit that I was wrong. And I've been so caught up in my job, didn't see what's going on, but now I know I'm better sleeping on my own. Cause if you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself. And if you think that I'm still holding on to something, you should go and love yourself. For all the times that you made me feel small, I fell in love, now I feel nothing at all. I never felt so low when I was vulnerable. Was I a fool to let you break down my walls? Cause if you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself.